All right. Happy Memorial Day, sir.
Yeah. Did you party today?
No, dude, I like never do Memorial Day barbecues or anything like that because we don't grill. Well, we have a grill, but we don't use it.
Oh shit, I should have invited you over here.
Oh, you did a barbecue?
No. It's just
What'd you eat today then?
Chinese food.
Are you a hot dog guy or a burger guy at a barbecue?
I actually don't like hot dogs. Well, I'll have it occasionally and don't eat too many burgers. Chicken sandwiches.
At a barbecue? Chicken sandwiches?
We actually make a lot of chicken at our barbecues. So I don't know
Uh,
what you do at yours.
dude, I
But
need I need a burnt hot dog. Like it needs to be basically like crispy burnt.
that tastes good.
Small amount of ketchup, no mayo ever, and that's what I enjoy.
I like my
Um,
bagels toasty, like a little bit too toasty.
yes,
And
yes,
pancakes, aren't they better when they're like a little burnt, basically?
yes, 100%.
Yeah, a little crispy. Um,
Have you had chicken and waffles before?
yeah, I did. It's really good.
I had it with hot honey the other day. Oh my gosh, it was
Yeah,
insane.
it's kind of
The
crazy.
syrup.
When I was traveling in the South, I had to have that.
Yeah, yeah. In the South, you have to. Yeah. Shout out to
Yeah.
Matt. When Lambo though. I don't know. Eventually, there will be a Lambo. So, guys, we're gonna be joined with Futtbucker. A lot of you guys probably know him. He'll be joining us to talk about technicals and trading in like 5-10 minutes. Vitaly and KRIS or not Vitaly, Carlson KRIS probably not making it tonight, but we still wanted to do an episode just to be here today.
I was thinking, should I show up and just let you?
I mean, even if you didn't, I would just be with Futtbucker. But yeah, we're here. I'll be here. Amidst
Oh
barbecue of
boy,
chicken tikka masala. That's racist, but probably right.
that'd be pretty good, honestly. Yeah, why not?
Okay.
So today I'll just give you. Well, besides we'll wait for Buttfucker. We'll wait for him, but I did want to talk about OpenAI and ChatGPT for a minute.
Okay.
I've been using it a lot. In fact, today there was 3 problems. I'm going to go into all 3 of them and bore everybody.
Okay.
Problem 1, so, I have a pool, right? And there was an issue with I don't know if anybody else has a pool out there. We can take a little vote. But the spa was going down and emptying out into the pool, right? So
Okay.
I put that I've never this is my first year obviously dealing with it. So I put that into OpenAI and I was like, "So what is the issue here with the pool?" And it gave me 3 problems, but one of the first one was a check valve. And I was like, "Okay, that sounds reasonable." I mean, any pool guy might know this, of course. I went over to the check valves. I did some tests. Took a couple of hours to like see which one is broken. And yeah, it was a check valve. OpenAI called it. And that was the first problem. And it
Okay.
solved it. It solved it pretty fast. So as soon
Yeah.
as it said that, that was the first thing I checked.
Yeah.
And it's an easy check. So I got to replace something. Anyway, 2, I started I was coding and I had an issue with core data. So if anybody programs out there, core data is like the way it's a database. It stores information about whatever your app has locally on the device, right? For iOS devices. And one thing I'm learning core data now, so I don't have a lot of experience. So this is simple stuff, but I asked it a question about how do I delete all other items in multiple tables, right? And it basically answered it and gave me an example in code. And then I said, no, no, no. I just need to know what to click to turn this on, right? And
Mhm.
it's called cascading, whatever, in databases. And it led me once again to the right thing. And the thing is, I tried Stack Overflow, which is a programmer's website,
Yeah.
and I tried all that. And I was like, oh, that's too much to read.
Yep. Yep.
And not that OpenAI doesn't give you a lot of stuff to read. I was using Gemini 2. I'm saying OpenAI and ChatGPT, but I was using Gemini 2. It gives you some more answers. But yeah, just the level of like getting you to the information. So this, of course, made me think about, and that was the third thing I forgot it, but thinking about Google and my Google stock in terms of is it a problem? Is this really a problem? And I don't know if it will be because like that kind of stuff is like, if you got to get to Stack Overflow, does Google make anything if you got to get to Stack Overflow? Do you know what I mean? I can go and search on Stack Overflow, but I use Google as my Stack Overflow, for
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
And now they can give you an answer right on top that might not need Stack Overflow. This seems like more of an issue for Stack Overflow.
Yes, I agree.
So it doesn't seem like an issue for Google and Gemini. But then I was like, okay, but still, there must be some way that it's going to cost them money, right? But I'm thinking, well, if I'm searching for like for example, I was searching for the pool stuff, and it's like, okay, you need a check valve. The simplest thing Google can do is give me a link to buy a check valve immediately.
Yeah.
And immediately get paid for it. So once again, I don't know if Google's going to be so negatively affected. The more I use these tools, I'm like, well, the things that the other websites seem to be more affected. Do you know what I'm saying? Because Google's just going to take the information, integrate it into their own thing, which they stole from everybody anyway.
I was just about to say, dude, I feel like Stack Overflow is logical. The CEO must be thinking, oh, why don't we create an LLM? Because we have like 10 years of all this data. And then at the same time, Google's indexed all that data plus a billion other websites, and they made Gemini.
And they're not going to pay anybody, which is also, I wanted to deal with this too. So you heard about the OpenAI stealing, obviously, the voice of Scarlett Johansson, and they obviously did. It's like very flirtatious, like in the movie Her. Have you seen the movie Her?
Of course.
Okay. So
no, I haven't.
They obviously stole.
But I know what you're talking about. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, do you know the red herrings for like that with OpenAI? You probably know.
I understand that. I follow the story, but I've never seen the movie.
Well, besides the movie Her, you should watch the movie. But in terms of like Sam Altman months ago contacted them. I think you heard all this, right?
Yeah.
Contacted to get to the agent through the agents, and she said no. And then 2 days before the event, he contacts her again to get her voice. Like, first of all, like the idiocy of it is like in Hollywood, nothing gets done in a day. Like those people are too rich to even care about your request for like a day. You know what I mean? So, or 2 days. So it seems like they were doing that. But once again, this leads to the creator thing. They're stealing from creators. And this was an obvious theft that everybody can see because we all know Scarlett Johansson. But what about all those images that they're creating from people's artwork that they took?
Yeah.
You know, from YouTube or wherever they took it, where they won't admit it. So, and I'm a creator, by the way, not in terms of YouTube, in terms of making, films and all this other stuff. I'm like, this is bad. This needs to be fixed somehow. I think it will be, but how many people lose their jobs in the process of this getting fixed? That's really the question.
I think
how many less painters we have and artists and 3D animators and all of these things.
I think it means to buy Google and Microsoft, dude. Like as Gail says right here, Stack Overflow just signed up with OpenAI to scrape all its data. They had no choice because they can't say, hey guys, come use our Stack Overflow LLM. It's better than everything else because we have all the data. Because it's not. ChatGPT has the data. Google has the data.
Here's the other thing. Stack Overflow, that's not their data too.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to say it's their data, but it's my data as the programmer. I put that there. So once again, if OpenAI is getting paid, then they should be paying the creators who are the actual programmers of this stuff. And we're giving it away for free because we want to share. A lot of people share their code on GitHub and all this. I mean, I bet you anything, OpenAI scraped GitHub already. Like this is already
100%,
done.
100%.
Which Microsoft owns, by the way, but they don't own all of the code. So once again, they're stealing code from everybody. You know what I mean?
So this is a very
problem.
It's a big problem. This is a very interesting problem because sites like Reddit and Stack Overflow, etc., they've conglomerated all of this user data over the past 20 years. Their moat has been, oh, come here because we're the central place to access all this content. And now with these LLMs scraping all of it and turning it into interactive information, the moat kind of disappears. And Alexis Ohanian, the founder of Reddit, he put out a tweet the other day. I could not believe my eyes when he put out this tweet. I mean, when he put this thing out.
No, let me see. I know he did.
Let me put it out. Alexis Ohanian. This guy basically admitted that Reddit made a mistake that he used to defend profusely over the past decade. So let me pull up this tweet. But when I saw this, I was just like, yup. I mean, because I thought Reddit made this mistake a long time ago. And he finally admitted that Reddit made the mistake. Let's see if I can. If not, I can just recite the point of the tweet.
Well, someone's saying in XAI we trust, Kim. They're going to have a similar problem.
XAI. Yeah, that's...
Are they stealing? I mean, where's Elon getting his data from? It's scraping the web. It's YouTube. It's Google or whatever. I mean, you can't get around the fact that people created this data and they're taking it. You just can't get around it.
Yeah. Okay, I can't find the tweet. But the point is, he said, oh, Reddit made a mistake. We shouldn't have had the follow button on communities. It should have been on individual creators. And now it's so Reddit, you can't follow a creator, right? Creators don't have hundreds of, it's communities. And he said,
Right.
we made a mistake in 2005. He said it should have been on the create, because he's realizing communities are full of shit. Communities don't matter. What matters is the brand of the creator in the community that's creating the content at the end of the day. Because the community, what's a community? Like r/options trading. It's just a conglomerate of a bunch of people sharing data around like content around option trading that then gets scraped into an LLM or into a website, whatever it may be. It's just data. But an individual options trader that has 500,000 followers on Reddit, that guy gets to keep his, brand. He doesn't get replaced by AI. Those 500,000 people might follow him if he goes to YouTube. That's creator power and autonomy. And Reddit would be enabling that, just like Twitter is doing that, Instagram is doing that, which is why I think those platforms have moats. But this whole community shit, I mean, who gives a fuck?
First of all, it's not too late to do that. I think you're right, but so what was his solution? He can start doing that tomorrow.
Well, he stepped down in 2010, so it's up to Steve Huffman now, the CEO, to figure this thing out. But like, I think his solution would be, if he was the founder, to create a follow button, because there's so many good creators on Reddit, community members that don't have a following. They literally have karma points, which is
No, I know that's real dumb. Honestly.
It's dumb. So I agree with you, dude. Like, the only thing that matters going into the future when it comes to making any type of content on the internet, even if you're not a professional content creator, is that attributed to you? Like Scarlett Johansson, that's why she sued Disney and won, because she like rigorously fought for her creativity. Otherwise, and so let's talk about Elon. So
well, no, the fact that you're saying that is actually very important, because they're stealing. It's easy when you steal from a group. It's harder to pick out who that is. But when you steal Scarlett Johansson's voice, it's obvious. That's the thing. So if they keep doing that, they're going to keep butting up against this kind of stuff. And the thing is, what's funny is, if they never contacted her, would we even really know? We would think that, but we wouldn't. There wouldn't be any evidence that they were doing this for months and months. But
yeah, and this was the argument that Google always made. It's like, hey, we're stealing your content, but we're giving you traffic. Now it's like, if they're not giving you traffic, dude, it's the wild, wild west out there. And I think
so Google, by the way, can still, this is what I mean. Google has the moat where they can still direct people to buy something. Still good. I know the learning part is a little bit tough, like Stack Overflow. That might be a little bit challenging, but there's still things that they can, people who are selling actual products, they might actually still have business, you know?
And their search ads business probably doesn't get decimated as we thought. But if I want to learn how to bake a chocolate cake, if I'm not looking on what chocolate chips to buy, if it's just the recipe, then Perplexity, ChatGPT, right? All of that information. Google has to just give you the information.
But remember, they were doing that through like another recipe site. Like they were stealing it from somebody else and putting it in their snippets thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So honestly, there has to be, these are massive monopolies. And as a creator, I think they have to pay us. So part of this algorithm, as they take the data. So for example, if you are served up something like, I ask about a piece of code or something, right? And they got it from Stack Overflow from this creator. They know where they're taking the code from, at least pieces of it, or they should if they don't yet, right? So I know it's a whole table of just a bunch of numbers, and that's what is machine learning, but blah, blah, blah. You know where you're taking the data from, like when you're actually training these things. They know what they're doing, so I think they can end up paying people, and eventually that's going to happen, but who's going to have to sue them for that to happen? I don't know.
I agree. It's going to be really dicey, dude. It's going to be really dicey.
It could be 10 years from now. I don't know. That's the thing.
I think the conclusion is you got to buy Google and Microsoft. I don't think they go
anywhere. I agree there. Absolutely.
All right. Did Elon raise $6 billion for some bullshit, or is this a good reason? Did you see this morning?
I did. Yes, I saw it. Is it? I mean, I wish he opened it up to regular people.
Well, but like, here's my question: if he's raising $6 billion to compete with GPT, is that even worth doing? Like,
okay. First of all, this is the first raise, and second of all,
it's not the first raise.
Well, I mean, like, this is the beginning of them raising way more money in the future. It's only like a year-old company here.
Yeah.
Already we're at $6 billion. Elon creates billion-dollar companies at the drop of a hat, first of all. So I think it's one of the beginnings in terms of raises, and he'll keep growing it to actually compete with. And he's good at competing in software, by the way. I would never actually doubt him in terms of software. It was only in advertising that I'm like, he's not an advertiser. Why is he getting into that business, right? In terms of XAI and competing against OpenAI, I think he can do really well.
Well, so here's my bull case. If they so XAI, Grok, if they're gonna make Grok 5, Grok 6, whatever, and they have 500 million people to give it to on Twitter, then yeah, people are gonna start using Grok, I guess. But I'm a little skeptical in terms of why do we need another LLM? Right? Like we have
Well,
Gemini, we have Claude, we have
supposedly we
why?
don't want black Nazis. That's why.
Yes,
I mean,
so that's
we
the
want the
woke
truth.
thing. Yeah, but
Yeah.
like if Gemini and ChatGPT solve that, which I'm not saying they are, but let's just say they're like that whole thing comes
Right.
and
It's not.
goes.
It's not important enough.
It's not important enough. Then 6 billion to all that money's going to Nvidia. Like literally 95% of it's going to
Right. Right.
GPUs
Right.
and paying for Silicon Valley engineers that deserve to get paid high amounts of money, but still, it's like to build another LLM. I don't know. Now, if they make Grok incompatible with your Tesla, and you can like talk.
Well, see, okay. So first of all, the first fallacy here is you're saying it's only an LLM. Where it can lead eventually might be general AI. We don't know yet.
Yeah, yeah,
Honestly, we don't
yeah,
know how much information it takes for a superhuman AI basically to come about. It's not there yet. It has all of these problems, but maybe it is just an information problem. If it's not, we'll find out in the next 5 to 10 years, right? But
yes.
if it isn't and it's just information, it just needs more information. Why couldn't I'm saying what that would be very important. Like heading towards a general AI is important, even though I am scared of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think okay, so what is your take on Tesla shareholders being upset that he started another company and he's going to be distracted?
Yeah. I mean, that's what we said at Twitter.
I mean, look, I do have some
Uh,
sympathy for them. I think their argument's dumb,
no,
but at the end of the day, like
no,
he's
no,
Elon.
it's not dumb. It's not dumb because
Well, I think
look,
this is going to help Tesla. That's my point. I don't think
well,
it.
first of all, the car itself has to have an intelligence, like a built-in LLM, and
Yeah,
obviously Grok AI or whatever XAI is going to be built into a Tesla. No matter what, eventually that's going to happen. Even if Elon's not a Tesla, by the way, that's probably going to happen. But I personally look. Elon told us a decade ago he wants to change the economy towards sustainable energy, right? Which is still in progress. It's happening, and he wants to get to Mars.
yeah,
Okay, you don't need 6 other companies to do that, and I get they're important businesses too. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying that when we bought into the vision, when I did, 2018 or so, we weren't talking about Grok AI, we weren't talking about Twitter, we weren't talking about these nonsense things. So I feel like he is being distracted, and in fact, he admits so much by saying, like, I had to spend. I think he had an interview recently. Twitter's now at a decent place. I don't know if you heard this. He keeps
yeah,
saying that every 6 months, but
yeah.
Twitter's now at a decent place. I don't have to spend so much time on it. But okay, so that means you're spending an inordinate amount of time on Twitter while Tesla's like the real winner here and it's in the back seat. And I'm not saying he's ignoring it. I just mean like if you're not giving if you're not giving 99% of attention to something
Yeah.
and you're giving 90% of attention to something, listen, there's suffering that happens in terms of that thing, no matter what you believe or say.
Yeah.
All right. So even if he's giving 90% instead of 99%, there's a problem for Tesla investors who have hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars invested. We don't like it. Bottom line. And that's why I didn't feel comfortable holding all of that Tesla because I just didn't like what was going on.
So you feel a lot comfortable. You feel really good that you trimmed in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, even if it was going to go up, by the way. And it did for a while. So when I started trimming, it was around the 250 mark and it actually pumped to 260, 265. I forgot. I was like, all right, that's what happens when you sell. That's what happens. You got to just move on and forget it. I did not chase it, by the way. So I didn't do that. I actually sold covered calls at 260 again,
Mm.
just because. So I even sold more. So my point was that I accepted that I had to take a position, half my position, basically. I had to do it. It wasn't worth holding the whole position. Elon was too distracted. The stock I felt was not going to do well. But Elon being distracted is a big thing of that. Like he is I know people make fun of us, like we're zealots or something, and Elon is our God, but it's not. The case is that Elon does he makes us the money. Like that's just
No.
the bottom line. You know what I mean? He's the one that 20x'd my bag. It was him. Okay. If he wasn't that Tesla, who am I betting on? The 2 guys who started it, who almost failed and blew up the company. You know what I mean? Like there was 2
Yeah.
guys who started who couldn't even build a proper car. So like, who are you investing in? At the end of the day, you're investing in people. All right. And Elon is that kind of person where either you see what he's doing or you don't. And I do see what he's doing. I mean, no one in their right mind would have said, I need this rocket to come back. Okay. Okay. I need this rocket to land, and it has to look fucking cool when it's landing. All right. And he did it. Like, it's crazy. You know what I mean?
Okay, I have a question. You speaking about Tesla because you know the space
That was
more than I
SpaceX.
do.
That was SpaceX, but
Yeah, well, yeah, but Elon in general. So George Soros bought a shit ton of Rivian last quarter. I just saw it today. The options on Rivian for December 2026 for a $20 strike, things at $10, 3 years. They look really fucking cheap. But I am afraid to even think of getting into that position.
wait, how cheap is it?
I mean, dude, the spread between 20 and 22.5, we're looking at an 8x if you buy it today.
No, I know. So what is the option price? Maybe I'm interested.
So,
I mean, you got.
well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is there anything interesting?
Well,
here?
Soros, isn't he the guy who shorted Tesla?
I don't know. He's just a big guy buying Rivian, so I'm like, maybe there's
No, but didn't he short Tesla? Anyone remember this?
Chanos shorted Tesla. I don't think he shorted Tesla.
Soros didn't.
I could be wrong.
Sure.
But okay, so if I buy
Chanos, definitely, you're right about that.
If I buy a $20 call, I sell the 22.5 on top of it. Dude, it's 28 cents. This is a 2.5 call divided by.
And when? June?
This is a 900% return if it gets to $22.50 by 2026. By December of 2026, bro.
I mean, look, to speculate a little bit is not.
I don't think at 22 3 months ago, and I'm like,
yeah, well, no. Look, it's a shit stock. The bottom line is, it's a totally shit company, shit stock right now, and it could be stuck in purgatory for a while until they get their shit together. That might be more than 2 years, by the way. Tesla's been stuck in long periods of no movement.
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem. As Gail says, it's burning cash, and if Tesla doesn't recover, how the hell is Rivian gonna?
But even if Tesla recovers, means Tesla's actually making money. By the way, Tesla has FSD out. I'm paying right now $100 a month because, and I got a story about FSD too. But I'm paying $100 a month, and it's worth it. All right, I told you. Remember, I told you I was going to do it, but I didn't know how long I'd keep it. And now, like, my brain has clicked into the mode where I can't live without it. So it's a little weird. So I was driving in my wife's car, she doesn't have full self-driving. She has autopilot. And I don't trust it. I don't trust autopilot the same way. So I was much more nervous about driving it and letting it do all the turns on these windy roads and all this stuff. And it still handles it pretty well. I'm not saying it's terrible.
Yeah.
But like, I've really just sort of come to depend on full self-driving, not to drive 100%. That's not happening, but to drive like 90%. And then so the mental load of me paying attention to the car has just dropped tremendously. And it's just for $99, I'm willing to keep it. So anyway, my point is that Tesla has all of these levers they can pull. Rivian doesn't have these levers. They don't even have a supercharger network. They built like 5 chargers or whatever the hell.
Dude, no, Rivian's shit, but like they're trading at cash, and I know they're burning cash. My question is, do they do something to get this thing back to $22, which is not crazy expensive?
First of all, if we pump in December, yeah, why can't it go to $20?
I mean, that's true.
If you're in a bull market, even shitty stocks will go up. Okay, I'm not saying they're going up 100x, but to get from 10 to 20 is very possible that it gets there. So that's why I'm thinking, all right, if it's 28 cents a contract,
dude, it's 28 cents. I'm just like, also like, dude, at $10, like, do I think Rivian's going out of business in 2 years? I don't think so. So if Rivian goes to even $15 in 2 years, 3 years, I have 3 fucking years on this contract.
Yeah.
Like a 3x, you know?
I don't think it's a horrific small bet to make, honestly.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a horrific small bet. And I think I invested in and the other thing that can happen, by the way, Rivian could just be bought out by Amazon. That's the other thing.
People are saying Apple, but I don't know. I don't know
if Amazon would let them do that. I don't know. I think Amazon probably has in their contract. I would do that at least first dibs.
Yeah.
Well, but here's the point. I don't know if you remember, what is that program, Slack? So I invested pretty heavy in Slack during 2020, 2021. And then they got bought out by
Salesforce.
So my thesis was Slack could actually be like a pretty big app, and I could possibly have a 10x. And I think it was $20. It went to 30 or 40. I forget exactly when Amazon sort of bought it. But as soon as Amazon bought it, the price did shoot up because I think they bought it for $42. If someone remembers, correct me. I think it was $42. I had it at $20 average or something, or $22 average. As soon as Amazon bought it, the stock shot up to 42. I sold it all. Because everything else, and not Amazon, when Salesforce bought it, I was like, okay, there's no more profit to be made from this company. So the same thing can happen where Amazon or Apple or whoever just picks up Rivian. It's like chump change for them at this point. It's like nothing. where they can pay them 3 times multiple, the 30 billion or 40 billion, 50 billion. And all of a sudden the stock just shoots up to like 30 to 50 bucks because somebody's acquiring them for that amount. That's what happens.
All right. We got Futtbucker in the house today. What's up, bro?
How's it going, Mr. Bucker?
How are you?
Your audio is super low.
I think, yeah, your audio is a little low.
How do I know? Yeah, this is brand new for me.
If you're connected to the headphones, if you take out the headphones, your computer mic might be even better, to be honest.
Let me put you on mute.
Yeah, just unmute yourself, Futtbucker, and then you can try.
Are you Mr. Money Mustache's brother?
How's that?
That's way better. That's better.
Oh yeah, okay. I was thinking with the the mic.
No, you're good. You're good.
It'd be better.
Good.
All right, yeah. What's going on?
What's up, man? Been a while. How have you been?
Been pretty all right. It's funny you're talking Rivian because you just went long on it last week.
You just went long last week?
Yeah.
Okay,
What
so
did
you
you?
think,
I
you
know
think
his
it goes,
options, obviously.
you think it goes to $22 then?
I mean, this is we are long in shares.
Okay.
Primarily. As far as options, we haven't taken. I really wouldn't.
Who's this we?
My trading mentor, who I've learned
Dude, he runs a fucking hedge fund. You didn't know that?
I thought he was a fireman. Am I wrong?
No, that's just the cover, dude. He's like Batman.
Oh,
He needs
is that a
something to
cover?
cover up the fucking low-key Gordon Belfort. What's the guy's name? Jordan Belfort.
Yeah, we got the old boiler room in the basement, you know.
I thought he was in a submarine because that reminds me of like that mirror behind you.
Oh yeah,
That's true. Okay, so we got a bunch of stuff to talk about here. Futtbucker, for those that don't know, he is a day trader. He does invest and go long on stuff, but he also understands technicals really well, reversals, setups, etc. So I think we'll start off with this question, Futtbucker. What is a common misconception people have around day trading? Most people think they lose at it. And I guess what is your kind of beginning tips to think about day trading in general? As his daughter comes up to him. Aw, this is what you got to do.
How's it going? Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
That's AMIT and that's V. Say hi.
There's 330 people looking at your dad's mustache right now.
They're all looking at her. All right.
How do you grow a mustache like that?
People, there's
Look,
only you and you.
Because look, they're actually on YouTube.
Yeah, they're like all across the world, and they're like staring at us right now, and they're staring at you right now
Ready?
too.
Watch. Bam! There you
We're
are.
all famous for doing this.
All right, go get your water. Get back in
Yeah,
the bed.
I'm
Right
on YouTube.
That's fine.
go get your water cup and get back in the bed. All right.
I can.
This is the coolest part about like the real world, right? I'm sure people in the chat can relate to this. They have kids probably, and those kids interrupt them sometimes. I want to have 2 girls and a boy. I know you got 2 boys, Vitaly. I want 2 girls and a boy.
So are you gonna do something special to make sure you get 2 girls?
No, I'm just gonna have a lot of sex, and hopefully we get 2 girls and a boy. That's it. All right, day trading, good or bad?
So, day trading. I mean, like what I've told anyone who has approaches with me is, first of all, if you're ever going to try your hand at it, open a paper account and try it. Not for a day, not for a week. You really have to understand market structure. This is where I say everyone who's like, I want to short Nvidia. I want for months and months. And I'm like, guys, there's been on 3 or 4 occasions where I'm like, okay, we finally have a short signal, and then what would happen? And usually if you went short, most of the time you got smacked, just smack that ass over and over and over.
Yeah.
But again, and so this is where and why in terms of be it day trading or swing trading, it's based on market structure, 30-minute chart. I mean, it's everything. So any trade you take, you have to understand multiple time frame analysis. So when I'm looking on a 1 minute, I actually trade when I day trade, I actually trade on a 30-second chart, especially on Fridays because I'm trading 0 DTEs.
Jeez.
but what you want, like you want multi time frame confluence. So for example, like NVIDIA, if you look on the chart, right, the monthly's been up, the weekly's been up, the daily's been up. So in each time you just keep getting these higher lows, higher highs, like that's riding that momentum. And that's where like you can take a trade, like let's say I'm going a month out, right? And I might be entering a spread, and I enter on a pullback at support. And this is what I mean by market structure, like higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Like that's, like you could talk ICT, strat, like all these different terminologies for like trading, right? Realistically, they all do the same thing. They just say it in a different way.
Yeah.
And understanding like and like even intraday, some of my best trades when I trade futures, I'll be going against the trend.
So how often are you trading?
But it's really understand when you can extend your welcome and when you don't outstay your welcome.
Okay.
So, and again, this is like, it's more of like a deep, setting up with charts and like going over, structure and what I'm saying, like it's much more.
So my question is, should someone want to get into day trading or swing trading?
So I got in. I mean, like most people, right? The whole AMC, GameStop, 2011, yada yada. And then it was just like, at the time, anyone, like you're saying, especially then, you could throw money at literally any. You could, at Nikola, and you could make money. You could buy anything. Now that's not true, and people say, "Oh, well, all-time highs." I go, yes. However, there is a significant divergence between companies. Like, look at Carvana. I mean, you can look at so many. You're like, these are all-time highs. And I go, yeah, but you can look back on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other tickers that have, besides the fact, been delisted, or bankrupt, or delisted to OTC, right? Or they're trading at $50 when they were at 300. NVIDIA's not. And this is where, like, the whole idea of, like, as V loves to say, well, you've done your DD, et cetera, et cetera. And it's a perfect and long-term investing strategy of just buying quality companies and just DCA, right?
So do you own any? I'm curious. Do you actually have long positions besides Rivian?
Yes. Yeah. So these are, so like, for example, and
Wait,
even
what's your highest conviction play here?
Right. I mean, my high, like what, for buying something today?
No. Do you have anything that's actually that you've held for a long time, or you're just strictly a day trader?
GE Power, which is GE, which is GE Healthcare. They had their other spinoff. We got in that like a year and a half ago at like 46, or it was like $56.
More of like a dividend thing.
Just like those have been like the hodl investments. Quanta, which is PWR. I mean, they just keep, and this is where like it's funny. Like I laugh when and this is like I've like busted like your guys' chops in the chat every once in a while because everyone's like the Mag 7, right? I want to buy Google or Amazon. I'm like, well, if you just buy a stock like this, or and like there's some charts you look at and you're like, dude, this thing for 15 years, it just keeps going up and up. And like, why does this not come? Versus,
it's pretty obvious for certain charts, by the way.
Yeah. Versus like the crazy volatility, and not to say there's nothing wrong with buying those stocks that I own them also, but it's just amazing that like certain investments you look at hindsight and you're like, why didn't I just buy more of that?
Yeah, exactly.
But again, and this is, it plays back into and what I love about what I've learned about trading, be it day trading or swing trading, whatever else, is what it's taught me as an investor is if I like Palantir at $22, right? Like I want to own as much of it as I can, but am I going to be disciplined in starting a long position?
Yeah.
And, like these are all like, I had a friend who he's like, all right, he's like, I have $100,000. I want to start. And I'm like, time out. He's like, I'm going to buy. I'm like, you don't just go shopping one day. I'm like, think of it as like, you just gave your wife $100,000 and she goes to the mall. How would you feel if she came back that day spending, even though she could spend all of it, but she spent every dime? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you don't have to, all in one shot or,
Okay,
and
so
that's really-
what names are you long right now?
He said GE.
Yeah, I have a
what
lot,
relevant
so
names
I
are
have-
you long right now?
I mean, do you have Amazon? Do you have Amazon, Google?
No.
Do you
Are you
even-
long Palantir?
Forget about Palantir.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
No. We can't forget about. He just mentioned.
Well, no. The
Palantir.
reason he brought up the chart, for example, like I was talking to Amit a year ago, year and a half. I was like, look at the Amazon chart. It's only going to 300. It's going up. Remember those conversations, Amit?
Yeah.
Google. It's going up.
I remember the conversations at Palantir at 6. I was like, Vitali. It's
No.
only
That
going
doesn't
up.
have a 20-year chart. I mean, I'm looking at a 20-year chart.
Yeah, but I was
and
like,
it's
where else
still-
can it go, dude? It's not going to $2. Like, it's fucking going up.
That's not. I was waiting for 3, by the way. I've said it multiple times. I'm waiting for 3. But-
Yo, at $5, I was like, I'm gonna reverse mortgage my house.
Okay, so you're
Did
long
you?
Palantir. You're long Palantir.
Yeah.
Are you long Amazon?
Yeah. I have a basket of like 35.
Okay, there you go. That's what I'm asking.
and
So you do
there's-
have a basket of long trades like that. Okay.
Yeah, and then, I mean, and this is even like, so this is where I love, like, when you have, like, if you have, well, now it's Schwab, right? TD bought Schwab, so like on TD you can have multiple accounts and you link them all,
Yeah.
and then you can like interface what you see and what you don't see also. So like you're like, because it's like a friend of mine used to use M1 just because he would like, I don't look at my super long-term convictions, that I don't open it up, you know what I'm saying, and make emotional
Robin needs to do
trades.
that. We need multiple accounts. That would be so nice.
And it's really nice to be able to segregate yet have them in one spot. And that's so
Okay, so let me ask you this: when you're deciding to go long a company, do you care at all about the technicals because you're a technical guy, or you only care about fundamentals?
No, 100%. I mean, there's so. I'll give you the perfect example. Quanta, which is PWR. If you pulled up their daily chart, you'd see I started buying at, I want to say, 182. Let me see.
So that was around January,
Power,
or even earlier than that.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah. You said press share screen at the present,
Present.
and then it'll give you a tab.
Ah.
What is it? Trading view? You showing trading view?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, it'll say Chrome tab, and then just click that and press share.
Yeah.
And then you should be good.
Oh, it pulls up every tab that's open.
Yeah, so
Jeez.
don't show the porn, just show the.
Quanta's chart since 2020, straight up.
Oh wait, how do I find?
So present, share screen, and then Chrome tab.
Oh, there you go. It's under window. Gotcha. Yep, that makes sense. Duh. There we go.
Okay. Cool.
All right, so zoom back here. So we had this uptrend channel, right? You just kept bouncing off, and it was last August or June, I want to say. So if
It's at 180. That's probably November-ish.
Here we go. Nope, right here. This was my buy. March, April, May. Nope, June. This wick right here. Show you. My first entry was here at. Did I go back too far?
May 2020.
Here, what year are we in? No, here we go. January.
Yeah, it's been moving up for 4 years, basically.
No, it was last summer. This was the earnings in October. So May. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right around the
Either
1.
way, I was down. My first entry was like 150, so it must have been one of these here. March.
Okay, so why did you buy at 150?
Right, so here, well, I mean, this just trend channel, right? Bounce. It was like you get down there. I was like, all right, I'll add more. And then we ripped up to like 220. Yeah, 210, 220. And I actually sold some at 210, and then not at 210, at 205. Yep, I sold some up here, and we're at 210, and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, why did I sell any of it? And then it gave us this beautiful gift.
Yep.
As we started selling off, and I'm like, all right. Our entry price was, and this is, my trading, like I've shared this with Amit before, my buddy Jason. Our entry zone was, I believe it was like 175 to 150 or 160, something like that. This wick here is earnings. right there. All right. So, and this is just a little, when you talk like earnings or like bad news is good price action. So this candle, you obviously gapped down here and it was just all bought right up. Like that's what you want to see if you're long a stock. You don't want to see it, you know, and obviously going through the earnings and all that's important. But you know, like the stock was just bought right up.
Basically, if it's a good company like an Amazon or a Google, if it wicks down like that, unless it's like a thesis breaking reason, you buy that dip.
Yep. And and what I'll say, you'll hear sometimes guys on Spaces, they'll bring up like order blocks and yada yada, and basically those are references. So like on any chart, right? And guys are like, oh, how do you chart and where do you draw lines from? I go wicks, top wicks and bottom wicks, and for trends.
Is your name John Wick?
Nick Wick. So you know, like it's you take the wicks. The reason why you take the wicks is because that's where liquidity, like that's where buyers and sellers became exhausted.
Right.
So like right here, I mean, granted, it's also a round number, 150, you know, around the 150. But again, look left and you see those, you know what I'm saying? The candle tops right over here. Like, you know, not to say that was, you know, on my chart, like where to buy it. But a lot of times if like something's selling off, you're like, where could this bounce? I'm like, dude, if it's daily or, you know, monthly, like on the day, like during the day, I'm like, pull up the hour, you know, 30-minute chart, the hour chart, you know, like look back, like look left. It's price, except all-time highs are different, obviously. But like, you know what I'm saying?
It's funny how you look at the 30-second, 1 minute. If it's not a day or a monthly candle, I'm not as interested in it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Because I'm not day trading, obviously. But the thing is, I think I want to point out what you're probably saying, but in a different way. You had a lot of conviction when you were buying this stock initially, and that you were just looking for opportunities to get more. Obviously, technicals do help with that. People shouldn't ignore them, and a lot of people, probably even in the comments, think that technicals aren't useful and it's some sort of a magic. But you can see these companies move sort of in a trend. And obviously that trend breaks down sometimes, or in this case, it actually broke up in this case. So it's important to follow because you would never know, like, should I buy it at 150 if you didn't look at this, you know?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Or I know a lot of people look at it going, you know, especially, you know, like my buddy bought it at 189 and then he texted me, he's like, bro, what is going on? And I said, first of all, did you buy your full position? He's like, well, no. He goes, but it's $160. I'm like, so what are you complaining about?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then he did buy more. And then of course he's like, oh, I should have bought more than I bought. I said, you know, I said, but time out. What if this dropped to 130?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have to, and so in anything, be it investment, you have to say like anything you're buying, you have to know what you're buying and know why you're buying and know when will I sell and why will I sell for a few things. If you have like a valuation, right, you're like, all right, it's too much. Listen, does it also mean that you should sell everything? I mean, it depends on yourself. You know, like if you buy something and you regret it, you could also buy it back. I mean, like there's many ways to go about, you know, managing investments.
All right, so Futt, let me put you on the spot right now. Can you walk us through a technical analysis on end phase?
On end phase? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I said
end phase is broken out a little bit.
You couldn't have said snow.
No.
Honestly, dude, Snowflake is disappointing me so much right now. It's not even.
Snowflake's is dog shit pussy. That's what Snowflake
it's going to 200, fellas. I already looked at the.
Probably is, but it's still
going to 200.
Trash.
And then it's dumping again. I already looked at it.
Its turnaround story is not looking bright right now, unfortunately.
Dude, it was a green day on Friday, and Snowflake did not recover everything they lost.
Yeah.
Like, it was. I mean, I don't think the street fucking likes this Snowflake.
So,
okay, so end phase. Would you like? I want you to answer questions during the technical analysis. Would you buy it? What would you wait for? Is there volume shelf resistance? Like these types of.
So, well, let's see. Let's pull up the weekly. So it's funny, right? What's this level here?
74. That was October. That was when I was on the airplane to Vegas. I was tweeting, "Oh my god, end phase is falling. End phase is falling out the sky."
You're like, end phase is under 100. Why did I buy it?
Vitaly didn't come to Vegas. He didn't want to deal with my shit. He didn't want to see.
They're never gonna sell a microinverter again. It's over.
So I'm just curious here. If you go back,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was actually 80.
If you follow the whole trend, you'll see what's going on. Like,
So it's funny because I think in a couple of streams in the chat, I would jokingly, even when we're at like 200 and 180, I was like, V, I'm going to buy it at 120, $180. And people in chat were like, it's not going that far. I said, again, this is where I look back and I'm like, bro, look left. It's like, look left. Great. I can pull up 10 is the solar ETF also, right? Same. Actually, it's funny. I have the line there from
I didn't know this. Tan?
Yeah, tan. It's
Because
the
the sun makes you
solar
tan?
ETF. Yep.
Wait, really? That is because the sun makes you tan? That's the reason?
Yeah. Well, that's why they named it instead of like, I don't know.
actually, how is that ETF
SOLR?
doing? I'm curious.
It's down 8% year to date. But over the past 5 years, it's up
Oh, look.
88%.
So like
this
you
is
look
probably
here-
the time to also dollar cost average this. If you didn't want to pick a winner, you just wanted the whole sector.
Yep. Yeah. It says Solar Edge, SEDG, FLSR, Enphase, ARRY, Sunrun. And like
Right,
3 or
and all
4.
of them are down 80-90%.
Oh yeah.
I
Yep.
think except for First Solar is probably not. That's the only one doing well.
Yeah, but like here, I mean, obviously you see the green line, and again, this is just like look left, right? And it's like, well, yeah, did we fall below it? These are weekly candles. V likes the week. That is a beautiful weekly candle right there.
Why? Because it went up? Is that why it's beautiful?
So, well, yeah, we can go back. So,
Well, it's obeying its support.
first of all, it's a fully engulfing bullish candle, breaking and closing above the prior week, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, basically 12 weeks. So solar, and this is testing, it's at the 200-day if I put it, well, whatever. So my moving averages are locked on the time frame. That's a 200-day.
Okay.
See? Right here. Now, the only thing that's questionable is 200 days they're magnets, right? Like a lot of times you'll see it, you'll like bam, shoot away, and then next thing you know, you're boom right to it, and then you look below it, and then you know what I'm saying, like it'll play these games off the 200s. Sometimes you'll come down and get like a perfect like touch, and then everyone's been waiting for it, and buyers step in, and then you just see you later. And these are reasons why it's like, because like they'll talk, moving averages 20-day, 50-day, and 200-day, 200-week. Those are the most institutionally used like viable moving averages that like I say every investor or trader should have on their charts. And people say, oh, well, when you break the 200 you should like whatever, you're going to sell or break the 50, right? And it's like, well, just because you break something, like you want, just like with support, you want to, if you want to see a confirmed, so you want to break below it, you want to close below it, and then more importantly, like a weekly candle closing below something or above it, that's usually showing you like, okay, we're probably going to continue in this direction. Even though someone might look at, oh, well, look, the RSI is 65. And like, I harp on it constantly. I'm like, RSI, everyone says overbought and oversold. And I just always say, what does RSI mean?
Relative strength.
Yeah. And I harp on it constantly. I said, it's a momentum indicator. I want to see anything I'm long on. I want to see it essentially going from like 80 down to 60, just like bam, bam, bam. And then you're usually your chart, what I'm saying? You're continuing that upslope. You don't want to have relative weakness, in something that's going up. That's not good.
Okay. So can you go to Enphase? Is this,
Yeah.
is this now a time to buy as it broke out above 120?
I mean, it has its headwinds with, the whole interest rate story.
Yeah, but just from a technical, I want
valid.
to see. I want you to be like Mozart
So
right now. And look at this and tell me.
Technicals on the daily, like
Daily, weekly, monthly. I just want to know: is it a buy or a sell right now based on these technicals? Because I want to be like you one day, where I could just look at a chart and immediately have an understanding of if I should buy or sell it versus only fundamental analysis.
Yeah. So like, this is where like learning from like different, are you guys familiar with the strat?
The strat?
Yeah. No. Okay, so the strat, it's a trading strategy. Basically, have you ever like talking candlesticks? Like it's a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or a 2 up or a 2 down. You've
No,
done
but I
Oh,
that?
did go to
yeah.
Walmart yesterday and I smelt some amazing candles, dude. Fucking
You,
cinnamon candles. I
you,
need
you
to
know,
fucking
I
buy those. You just reminded me. I gotta go buy. I gotta go buy.
Pumpkin spice. I know your type. Pumpkin spice and Uggs.
Oh my god.
there's another name for that. What you're saying, we actually like, yes, 1, 2. There's a counting mechanism
Mhm.
for these candles, and
Yeah. Oh, here.
I don't know.
So,
I never bought that because I used to follow that. I forgot what trader it was for Bitcoin, and it just never worked out. You never knew when the actual
you go.
breakdown was coming.
so this shows you. It tells you. All right. So what I was saying before, right, is this little key down here. It's you're up on a daily, up on a weekly, up on the month, up on the quarter. So full time frame analysis right now is actually bullish across the board.
That up means, what does the up mean? Is it an uptrend? That's what the can.
No. So up means you're closing above the previous candle.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So in other words, the daily is closing above the previous day. The week is closing above the previous week. The month candle is closing above the previous month, and the quarter is closing above the previous quarter.
That's good.
That's why a lot of times, so like indicators, indicators are great. They help. They're great for confluence. You should never take indicators as signals. Like I'll say, like to me, like raw price action, which is what market structure is, that tells you, that's really what you should go off of. And then any indicators that you're using are really for confluence. So this is, I use this here and there because it's nice. It auto populates, right? But what I always have in my chart, this is strat, previous candles, and this is set for each color is a different, what you call it. The white is previous day high low, yellow is previous week high low, and then what you call it. The purple is previous month. But anyways, so basically, like knowing these levels, like you'll see, like when gold broke out, and that's why, like, this whole don't buy the breakout, buy the retest. But a lot of times they say, well, like, why is this going? Or why is this going? It's well because when you break certain levels, like traders want momentum. As a trader,
Right.
you need momentum to make money.
Right.
Whether you're trading penny stocks or whether you're trading options or, like the momentum is what gives you that exponential gain. And that's where, like, I always talk, I'm like, well, if I'm only going to hold something for a week or two, I wouldn't buy. Why would I buy more than a month or two out? Because I'm expecting this move to happen in a shorter time frame.
Right.
Very different than saying like, okay, I'm going to buy something, 9 months out or a year or 2 years.
So what would you do here? Can we get an answer? What would you do?
Yeah, no, I think solar has been waiting to catch fire. In general, I think Enphase is going to be one of the leaders. I actually love to. It's funny you mentioned solar. I love to trade Sunrun, RUN, but that's because it's a small cap and it's cheap. So
It's worth like 800 million now, right? Is that right? Somewhere around there.
Market cap, yeah, it's pretty low. But like the other day, I want to say it was Wednesday or Thursday. So funny, right off the open, my buddy, and this, we're day trading. 230 minute. My buddy's like, it was like 10 in the morning, and he's like, "Yo, solar is on fire." Here we are. Let me go to the 5 minute. All right.
Go
Right
to
here.
the nanosecond.
So right here, we're on the 5 minute intraday. And I'm like, we hit 1250 and pull back. And he's like, dude, the solar sector's on fire today. And I'm like, all right. I'm like, Sunrun, $13 calls. And he's like, no way.
Expiring that day.
Yeah. So
Okay.
hold on. This was let me give you, let's do a quick down and dirty. This is actually kind of fun when we do this. Where is it? Replay.
He's ignoring the question about Enphase. Wait. He's not answering.
No. Well, no, I'm just showing you because I love.
Buy or not?
I love Enphase. Yes, I think so. I mean, like
so
I said,
at 125, Enphase is
no. But I think someone even just the chart itself. Like if you were to look at the chart, do you as a trader, forget about everybody in the chart, in the chat. Do you buy Enphase based on the chart? Not because solar or anything fundamentally. Obviously, I think it's going to win long term. I'm just saying, is this the time, or we still wait like 6 months, 8 months?
So. I would say as a disciplined, I hate that I have all these lines in this stupid chart. What should we call it? because I believe in stop losses even on investments, unless
Mm.
well,
So
twofold.
you got a GE stop loss happening?
Twofold. So I'll say if
What
it's
does it move like a nickel?
no, if it's a like, yo, I'm gonna buy it and not look at it, right? But I don't want to, and so I mean, listen, I can tell many stories of people who've lost a lot of money. I mean, well, Chris has his right with his the stock that got delisted on him.
I could tell my story of end phase.
Dude, the question is yes or no at 125 based on these charts. Is it a
He's
buy?
not going to answer. Well, he said yes in general, but I'm saying based on technicals,
based on technicals, absolutely. This is like your so you got your first daily close or first daily close over the 200. What was that? 3 days ago, whatever, Wednesday.
That's
and now we closed the week over the 200. That's big.
Oh my God. Okay, so I would say just based on that, and it hasn't done that in how long?
A while.
Probably.
Yeah, dude. Look.
It's been at least a year and a half.
Dude, it's been nasty. Look, and this is what I mean every time, right? Test,
fails.
rejection, close at it, open up above, and then sellers come in, smack it down.
So that blue line is the 200-day?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
God damn you, I'm buying more end phase.
Again, like you're saying, bam, just all this funny business. This is by far the strongest in terms of reversal. This setup here is giving way more conviction. And you can see
$350 leaps. Is that?
You're always going out. $1,000 leaps.
Like, can I make some real money here, dude?
I want 5 cents a leap.
I want
330 a year ago.
What do you say?
Right, it was what 330.
Look, my opinion, end phase is going back to all-time highs. Whether it happens in a year or two, I have no idea.
330 is going back to all-time highs. That's a lot, bro.
I know. I've loaded the boat, buddy.
Dude, the options chain doesn't even have it. They have 200 as the highest chain.
Dude, I can't stand that they do that.
That's annoying.
Wait a minute, like, dude, this stock wasn't at 300 5 years ago. You know, like, come on. But anyways,
yeah, literally a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
No, but
okay, cool.
Look, right now it isn't doing great. The business fundamentally, right this second. If there is a turnaround though for solar, it's the sector. It has nothing to do with the end phase itself. End phase is basically a monopoly in this business. So you have to know some fundamentals of this company before you go long. I would feel, just because if solar does turn around eventually and rates do come down, end phase is going to obviously benefit from it. That's why I have no hesitation or worry holding shares. Like, I don't actually have a lot of calls. I sold more puts than I bought calls, which is funny because I just never thought it was worth $50. You know what I mean? And I kept buying shares during this whole downturn because, like, once again, I don't know if the turnaround's a year from now or 2 years or whenever the rates actually do affect it.
Did you sell puts at $70, dude? Because that was a great time to sell puts.
I don't know if I've got the bottom at 70, but I sold a lot at 100, and they paid you around $30. I mean, it was something stupid.
Yeah.
And then it hit 70 for like, I don't know, 2 days, a day. Yeah. It wasn't there long.
So V, what I would say with that, when did you sell your full intended position of puts in one shot?
I sold a lot at 100. You mean I sold puts at 100? Is that what you're asking?
Like, so then, like, as it dropped to 80, you're like, all right, I'll sell 5 more. At 75, you're like, all right, I'll sell 5 more.
I wasn't sure at some point I was losing out too much money. I was hemorrhaging cash.
No, that's dude. So I mean, how many people got stopped out of Tesla when?
Yeah. So I don't put myself in that position. By the way, as soon as I'm literally hemorrhaging cash and I can't afford it, I stop doing that. Even if I think I'm right. Okay. Even if I believe I'm right, just because you don't want to put your family in a position that you're totally wrecked. Because look, Enphase could have gone to $50, but I didn't believe that. So I did as many puts as I possibly could. That made sense for me.
With that, it's funny. I would even say, as you're doing that, and I know, like, as far as not necessarily shorting, but like when you're, depending on, obviously, wherever you look, the chart, right? There's a point where you're like, all right, like, and it's funny. I've done this for like, when something for me is triggering, like, actually Coke recently spanked me a little bit. Yep. Here we go. This little devil. I went long on September 70 calls for next year, I think.
Okay. You have some time.
Oh yeah. But so it's funny. I went long, and I didn't take my typical strategy when I go long on like a breakout like this. And is this adjusted for dividends? No. Wait. Yep. Now it is. There you go. So see this? They got me at $63. But a lot of times what I'll do is if I'm buying time like that, I'm like, all right, if we're going to reject and retrace as an insurance, which if you're buying shares, sometimes you could do it, maybe not call the stock, but, buy like some puts, if you're a technician at all looking at the chart, like, all right, if we're at 100, you think we're going to go to 80? You could, maybe you would be like, you know what? I just bought like however many 100 shares, right? You're like, I'll throw some dirt at these puts. Like, and then as you slide down, you're like, oh, sweet. I raised some capital to buy some more shares.
Right.
Right. So I want to make it clear. I don't know if this was misconstrued, but I sold puts. I did not buy puts.
You can do both, though. You can buy and sell puts.
I know, but I'm saying I like collecting the premium, especially when I think it is undervalued and it's going up in 2 years, because I sell leap puts. I mean, I'm even more crazier. I sell leap puts.
No, that's a safer way to do it. That's a safer way to do it.
Is that safer? I don't know, because now you have a 2-year commitment to.
Yeah, but in 2 years, if you know the stock better than anyone on the planet, you should know where the price should be.
I felt comfortable,
wrong, but
I mean, well, so actually, I'm actually just genuinely curious. If you when you sold leap puts at $100, what is your like strike selection, expiration, like premium that you want to collect? And are you
asking for percentage? Is that what you're asking?
Like,
or what I actually got paid? I got paid around 25-30 a share.
Oh, nice. So, okay, that's why you said.
So basically, I was like, okay, so the stock has to go under 70 for some idiot to want to give me his shares, if it happens, of course. And so when it hit around 73, I was like, oh shit, I might actually get all these shares.
You're like, exercise risk is actually looking possible.
Well, that's when I stopped. That's when I stopped basically selling puts, even though it made total sense to continue. I just the money outflow would have been insane because I would have been. I don't want to put myself in a bad position.
You don't want to over leverage yourself.
Yes.
So fun. Let's end the pod on this because we got to.
I've been there. 5 minutes. It's not fun.
No.
Let's end on Nvidia. Can you show us the technicals on Nvidia?
Well, forget about Nvidia. Actually, can you look up XLE? Look up XLE.
Look at this.
Okay, let's do Nvidia and XLE. Do Nvidia real quick.
Well, the reason I say XLE is because I've just been watching that sort of over the last.
She's a buy, baby. She's a buy.
XLE.
Yeah.
See, I want to be like you when I grow up. I want to be able to see a chart and be like buy or sell immediately. I want to do that.
I've been watching it over like a month at least, and I'm like, well, it looks like it. If you look in the history, though, I don't know if you want to go to the monthly chart, but if you want to look in the history of it, it's hitting resistance at 100 because that's where it hit it a long time ago.
Yep.
So I don't know if it's going to cross it, but I think you do need some fundamental reasons for it to just break out over 100, right?
Oh, XLE, yeah. Oh yeah, it's dividend adjusted. So yeah, we're right. Well, like right now, I'm like, this is just a retest of the prior all-time high. Now, yeah, the monthly candle is ugly, but to me, I'm like this is like buy high or sell high. I'm not trying to catch, I'm not trying to time a bottom per se.
Vitaly, why are you trying to buy oil right now? What's going on here?
This is my favorite.
I don't think oil's gone. I've never said oil is dead forever. I'm just saying that if I see a trade like this.
Yeah, but the time to buy oil was in January when the price
well, absolutely. Look, you're never going to get everything at the perfect price, by the way. That's never going to happen.
I will start tagging you when I have high conviction in buying something. I'm going to start tagging you on it.
Go ahead, definitely.
When oil futures were at $68, 66 on every day I'm on Twitter. I'm like, who in their right mind is not buying this right now? but it coincides with the chart of XLE, OIH. Like that's when, you know what I'm saying? Oil moves and they're not directly correlated, right? But they will ebb and flow together.
So here's a question. Do you think XLE, is it possible that it breaks up to like 150 to 200? Is this a possibility?
Well, wouldn't oil have to be like $90 a barrel or 95?
No. You got to think this is a base of, you have the dividend adjusted chart, but I was looking at the regular one. I don't know if I can show it, but it's over like 10 years, basically. It's been capped at 100 over 10 years. So I assume when it breaks out over 100, it's going to be a massive breakout.
What I'll say is on this though, you have to adjust for dividends. like for charting and like technicals and stuff, like because this money's like that money's gone. You know what I'm saying? Like shareholders received it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That's why like looking here versus going on the adjusted, like they paint two totally different pictures.
Yeah, they do.
You know, like the adjusted chart, this is way more bullish. But I mean, you know, this is what I have the weekly up. Yeah, I mean, I would love to buy more at the 200 day. By then, it'll probably be $90. Do we get there? I'm not sure. I prefer trading or investing in OIH, which is oil services, this is more of the toll road. These are the underlying Schlumberger, Halliburton. You're underneath the not like Exxon, all that, where supply and demand isn't nearly as important. But now this is a chart you pull back and look where it is now compared to, OIH. Could OIH be 700 again? I think so.
Okay, let's do Nvidia to end it off.
Oh, Nvidia is just a freaking beast.
Are you long Nvidia?
She's insane. I have not had Nvidia shares since I want to say like 975.
Okay, gotcha.
Guys,
I'm gonna put Fut's X in the chat for those that are asking. So I'll put his.
This is so like here. Just looking on Friday, we closed above Thursday's high. I mean, dude, it's
at 1100 right now on Robinhood.
Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. And so like, but if you notice, this can keep, because this has the momentum, this can keep going, and you can see SPY and Qs and Russell be down 0.5% or 1% on the day. And this just, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily have to follow, like that's like algo trading. When, like, if you have the Mag 7 up and you literally watch every minute candle, like why do you think they dance together? It's because of algos.
Yeah.
But this is, disconnected from, she could just keep going. And yeah, their earnings were freaking impressive as hell. Like, it was nuts.
But you know what I think we need to do? Yeah. We need to get you on once a month.
Why would you sell, first of all? Why would you get rid of Nvidia, knowing that they are still, first of all, executing?
I have to be honest. I was very skeptical. So this was more of it ran. I didn't get enough of it when I wanted. And then I was up so decently that I was like, you know what? Like, it's one of those things where I'm like I have no problem. I'm going to wait for a pullback, but I have no, like, just because I sold something at let's say 950 doesn't mean I won't buy it back at 1,000. Yeah. Like, people think like, well, you need to remove that.
Yeah.
You have to take that out of your head. You cannot. Now you can be disciplined in saying, okay, let's say Nvidia pulls back to, I don't know, but let's say 975, right? You could also say there's nothing wrong with being like, okay, and because could it go back down to 750? You're damn right it could. So either A, you need to be really disciplined in your sizing, how many shares you're going to buy. You know what I'm saying? So this way, if you wake up and it's at 9, if it's at 750, you're not going, I'm going to sell it all because I'm emotional.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to put yourself in that position, especially no one should use margin, period. The only way anyone should ever be using margin is when it's not actual margin. It's just holding cash aside. That's my opinion, because that's how you turn around. And I know people who lost all their Tesla shares because they got margin called.
No.
Because they just kept buying. I'm like, and for anyone, if you're ever in that position and a position moves against you because you were not disciplined, you need to start selling it on your own. Don't get margin called and lose it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Cut what you ever have, cut what you have on margin.
Yeah. No, sometimes even if there's losses, get rid of the margin. It's not worth it.
Yeah, it's not. And another thing, people like, I bought the stock at this, now it's at that, now it's at this, or like, I'll leave. We have a couple of our friends who've tweeted about bag holding, right? And two things about bag holding is, first of all, when you open up your account, and even though you have a bunch of really good, stock picks that you've done well on, the one that you're looking at that's 40% down or 80% down messes with you.
Yeah.
All of you can add up all of your biggest wins or your smartest buys or whatever else, and none of them feel they don't pull at your emotions like your losses do.
So the
getting-
advice is to sell those bags.
Yes, 100%. There's no reason to hold it.
No. Okay.
I think if you stop believing in the company,
If you have no
Well, no,
conviction in it, I agree with you. Absolutely. But
that's
you
what
know
I'm
how many
saying.
losses I've had over this on
Yes.
Enphase and Tesla in the last, I mean, forget about the 5 years ago being up. I'm talking about the last year. And so you're right. I totally ignore the 20X I got. Paint Pal, exactly. I ignore the 20X because that was 4 years ago. I don't give a shit about that anymore. Now I'm looking at the 50% down, right? Because now the 10X, but still the 50% down is like, oh my God, this is so much worse than anything. So I agree with you there, but you have to hold through a lot of the pain in order to get to the other side. Otherwise, you'll never get there. Do you know what I mean? Like,
But
I held Palantir at 6.
Yeah, that was a hell of a journey, dude. But I think we should have you on once a month, and that one episode per month should be like you going through like 20, 30 stocks on the technicals. It'll teach everybody, it'll teach us too, and it'll be fun if we could just give you a name.
I love what like, and you know, the advice I give, because I have guys at work, you know, they ask questions and you know, whatever. And yeah, Qualcomm, this is freaking June. This is beautiful, absolutely beautiful, just a freaking beast.
I got my Qualcomm, baby.
Wait, do the firemen at work have they traded because of you? Are they?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, yeah,
they're legit doing it, or they're just
yes, but it's very so as you can imagine in my line of work, we have some like, you know, there's some adrenaline junkie you know, kind of goes hand in hand, right? You know, going to burning buildings, whatever. And now my line to guys is well, like anything else, you know, you know, the guys I work with, we work together, you know, for years and whatever. So you get to know each other's personalities. But I have one of my buddies, this guy Rocco, and he's a great dude. He was in on like GameStop, AMC, like all the memes, bro, super early.
he made money on it.
He did, and then he like a little bit of both.
Yeah.
So okay. So when I say hold, you don't hold that. That's not what I'm talking about.
V, you're not supposed to wake up and cook breakfast for a one night stand.
Exactly.
Well,
That's what,
depends how she made you feel.
This is why AMIT ended up with 3 kids.
You can't just ignore the fact that moment in time you might want to share a meal with someone.
No.
You know,
you got to get rid of her.
Yeah, no, that's like you know, and like penny stocks. I mean, dude, like every morning, and I haven't in a while because I've switched to futures primarily, but you know, like day trading penny stocks with momentum, it's a lot of fun. And you know, but you know, and again, these are things where it's like, you know, like Fife, right? That was a recent one, or a Fire, FIF, whatever it is.
Listen, I held XRP for 4 years. Okay,
yeah, no, dude, exactly, no good.
No good. You don't hold it to shit. I agree with that. But you do hold on to the actual long-term conviction that you have.
Yeah. But that's also, you know, like the difference between buying like IronNet and Palantir.
Okay, here's a question. If someone had to choose between day trading or wheeling, which one would you tell them if they have to dedicate a lot of time to learning one of the two?
Oh, well,
like selling options or day trading, which one do you think someone should get into?
Way easier to get into. Well, two different things.
They're definitely two different things.
You can compound smaller gains quicker, but you also have to have a day trading system that's back tested and reliable.
Yeah.
Then you have to be disciplined and abide by your rules. And one of my Achilles heels is like, it's supposed to be like 3 losses consecutively.
You're out.
I'm done.
Yeah.
And there have been times where I haven't shut down and I regretted it. And you know what I'm saying? But it's so like anything, it's not easy to do that. But so, and if you have a decent amount of capital, I mean, dude, wheeling, forget about it. Oh, I mean, collecting premiums, it is.
Well,
do you do that as well? Do you wheel?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's easier to wheel for someone who has some conviction in their plays because you can keep your stocks, assuming that you think it's going to trade in a range for, you know.
And that's why never wheel something that you don't want to own.
Yeah.
Ever. Like my biggest thing with that is like, I mean, besides, unless you're doing like short-term stuff, like I'll do TS, which I also don't mind owning shares of Tesla 2x leverage, TSLL.
Yeah.
Or TNA, which is Russell.
Yeah, Russell.
Yeah. but the reason why I do those is because, first of all, it's less capital. And also I'm doing like 2 weeks out or weeklies. Sometimes I'll do them as credit spreads or just outright, cash secured puts either way, depending. But because they're 3x leverage, IV on them is super pumped. So the premiums are really good.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, dude, wheeling stocks is, again, as long as you want to own it, it's phenomenal. And I mean, a lot of people don't, it's hard to forget who else is streamed. We've talked about it before, but I think maybe it was Matt Money when he was talking about like Exxon or whatever else, and you're like, all right, you can just sell it. If you want to buy it here, you can buy some shares, or you can sell a cash secured put. A lot of times it's like doing both of them. Like, okay, but why? Why wouldn't you just buy more shares? It's like, well, it's multifaceted where I have more of an edge by selling the cash secured put than I do just by buying the shares at this price.
Yeah.
Or
I think that's our time to end the pod. That's our signal.
Or a beauty of it, which like I've said a lot of times, like, guys, good to cancel. Limit orders are your friend. If you want a stock at this price, why not set a good to cancel limit order for if you want end phase at 110. You know what I'm saying? For 20 shares, 90 days. And you'll get the ping when it hits, if it does.
I don't understand why people don't do limit orders like more. It's like, just leave it, let it go. If it fills, it fills. If it doesn't, all right. You didn't want it at a higher price. That's it.
That and like when
I'll give you a good reason. I'll give you a good reason actually before we end. I learned a long time ago that limit orders, unless they're like you're talking about big spreads, like let's say from 125 to 100, like a large spread.
Yeah.
Because every time I was trying to capture a couple of dollars on something,
not worth it. Yeah.
It's like, okay, I tried to do that. I usually missed. And sometimes you're in an uptrend when you're trying to capture that because you see it going against you, and you're in an uptrend and you're trying to get $2.
So this is what I'll say is and this is also like looking at charts is like, okay, when you're in a trend, like you need to also learn when to average up.
Yep.
Like higher, low, higher, high. Like, oh, I didn't get Tesla at $104. Like, well, how many people do you think did?
Yep.
Then how many people bought it at 120? Well, I didn't get it at 150.
105, baby.
Beautiful, dude. It's amazing. And I called like my first official buy signal it was at 112.
Yeah. I mean, either way, great price. Yeah.
It was, dude. But then I'll give you a perfect example. My buddy, you are too adorable. My buddy with Coinbase, he was like, "Oh, I had limit orders set off. It was $30 or whatever it was, right?" I'm curious now. Oh, I love my Coinbase chart. Here we go. Let me just show you some. I'll share some technicals just because it's funny. This is my my Coinbase chart. Where is this? A window. I gotta do this thing. Ready? I love it. Oh, my cup and handle.
That's hilarious.
My little artwork there, right? So, but what's funny is he had 32.60. He said I had orders at $30 and they didn't fill. I said, when you woke up and you saw it was at $33. I said, Rocco, what is wrong with you? Then it's like, oh, well, now it was ran up to like when it ran up to 115, then it was back at 80, and I'm like, Rocco, your body goes, no, I'm gonna wait for it to go to 30. I said,
you're out, bro.
Yeah,
I said,
that's it.
I don't know when you're gonna like start learn what I'm telling you. Like I will show you, right? And again, like you come here, right? Why'd we,
No. The problem is people get this bias with the bottom. And once again, you said it. How many people actually capture the actual bottom of something?
Yeah.
And it's just a ridiculous statement to say. You just average up on good things. Like Coinbase was obviously going to go into a bull run. You know what I mean? At some point. And whether you got a 30 or 60, didn't matter. It went to 280.
Exactly. And that's like again, zoom out. Look at the chart. You're like, wait, there's another higher high. Oh, there's a higher low. And another higher high. Like on the pullback. And this is the thing where it's like, and this is where we talk like market structure. Like if you're like, well, I'm really nervous, whatever else, like if you're buying micro strategy on the breakout, again, like this is where I go, like, look at the chart, look back. Where was the previous, you can go like the previous week low. Oh, it was at 950 or 920. I'm buying at 1,050. Okay, so there's your stop loss. What percent is it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
So
like
you use technicals to give you comfort on the dip or the momentum buy, not necessarily just for the hell of it, you know, which I think is the right way to do it. Yeah,
exactly. That, I mean, that, and like, you know, V is saying, it's when you need to know when to average down and when to stop averaging down is actually probably more importantly.
Yeah.
Or to stop temporarily and then start averaging down again. And that's, again, technicals like, all right, we're in a downtrend and like catching a falling knife. And then eventually you'll get your higher low and higher high on your daily time frames. Like, okay, now I'll stop buying again. Or you just keep getting a higher low, higher low, higher low. Well, buy the pullback again, buy the pullback, you know, like, because you're not going to get, oh, I wanted it at 110 and 50 cents, but it was at 112. And again, you look at it and go, all right, get a calculator, do the math. So you didn't buy more shares because you wanted, you know, a 0.75% better. Like, that's just stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you
And
say,
the same thing will happen for end phase. I'll end it with that, at least. There's after around 140 or so, if you look at the chart, I'm sure you'll check it out.
oh,
There's a big gap around 200. I feel like after it crosses one of those resistance points, we have a quick move up to 160, 70, and then straight to 200.
And if we get a rate cut around that time,
That's my opinion, that we're going to be faster at 200. I'm not sure about 340, but I could see us being at 200 quicker than most people expect it to be. And then they're going to be like, why didn't I buy it at 125? That's exactly what I'm going to hear in the comments and tweets, and all these things are going to happen. I'm like, all right, congratulations, asshole. You had a year and a half.
From 120 to 160, this, like, I mean, even right here up to 150 on the right side, you see the little volume pocket there.
Mhm.
We should move it should move very quickly. Plus 150 is a round number, right? Then the 170 is where the 200.
And there's a lot of gaps if you look at all those little things over there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude. And I have no doubt. And what's these things, what I love about them also is, like, because people will want to take reversals at gaps. No, don't try and do that. When the gap fills, don't short it. Just like when the gap fills going down, it's not a buy. You have to wait and watch and see what happens because it can keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, end phase has a lot of room to run. I like it here at $1.25. I love it on a pullback. I mean, easily down to 110 is, you know, like, wouldn't even cross my mind.
All right. Cool. But this was awesome. We'll have you on again. Thank you for being here. I think this is really important stuff to broaden the horizons of everyone as they're thinking of investing. And I want to be like you when I grow up. And I say that with all sincerity. Like, I really do want to, because right now I look at a chart and I know a couple.
What am I, chop liver, motherfucker?
No, but you don't care about technicals as much as Fut. Dude, Fut's like in this game, dude. Like, he's
obviously,
like,
yeah.
He's in it. You know, and it takes years to get there. It's not easy. You can't do that overnight.
No. Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at the wrong technicals, you're buying a falling knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
And you got to have the confidence internally before you start speaking about things technically, because otherwise you're just going to sound dumb, right? So you have to really tell yourself, no, I know what I'm looking at. Otherwise, you're gonna, it's not going to be easy to talk about.
Yeah, no, and you know, like you're saying, you learn more from your losses than your wins, but you just have to implement them into your investing style and not repeat them.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. Hope you had a good Memorial Day weekend, and we'll be back on Thursday. I'll be live in the Market Open tomorrow, and markets will be open in about 10 hours. Bye, everyone. Have a good one. Good night.